I think we're set and ready to go. This is our December 17th library board meeting. First, we'll start by taking attendance in the room here. We'll start off for here.
Wanda Minglecook.
Okay. Amy Oren.
Jenna Reno.
Hannah James.
And then we do have some people joining us on the phone. Can you let us know you're here?
Kristen Shipper.
Anyone else? All right. Okay, first we are going to go for an approval of the agenda. Do I have a motion for approval?
I'll move to approve.
Okay, is there a second?
I will second.
Okay, any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, moving on to number 2, minutes of the November 19th meeting. Do I have a motion for approval?
This is Jenna. I motion to approve.
Okay, do we have a second?
I'll second.
All right, any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, no public comment it looks like today. Moving on to staff report with Megan.
Hello. I just want to mention a few service things coming up that we've talked about in previous meetings. They're just actually happening now. The first is at the end of this month is when our hours will officially change. The biggest change is that we will no longer be open on Sundays. The main library is also not going to open until 10 a.m. during the week, so that puts it more in line with the branch libraries. The other change is that Hoopla will no longer be available after the first of the year. So make sure you have Libby downloaded instead. In somewhat happier news, let me shift to some upcoming events. For kids, we have a Lego competition during the upcoming school break. Kids are encouraged to make creations at home and then bring them to the main library on December 30th. They'll have games and activities while the judging is happening, and then winners will be announced 45 minutes later or so. There are a bunch of new teen events coming up. Most of those are in my report. One I specifically want to mention is the Library Lair. This will be an event starting in January that will take place every Tuesday afternoon at the Carlson branch. Activities will vary week to week, but there will always be something going on for kids 10 to 18 on Tuesdays at the library. And then I want to touch on 2 reading challenges that we have starting January 1st. For the second year, we're going to do the year-long reading challenge. So this is geared towards adults and is done through the Beanstack app. There will be 12 different prompts, and people who complete at least 10 of them will get entered to a grand prize drawing at the end of the year. As a reminder, if you still have not logged things for this year, it goes through the end of this month. So get those in, anything you've read the whole year. And then we also have the Winter Reading Challenge starting January 6th, which will run through the beginning of March, and that one's for all ages. And rather than completing certain prompts, it's encouraging people to read just a little bit every day.
Nice.
Do you have any questions for me?
Any questions? No? All right, thank you. All right, moving on to our director's report.
Yeah, you see it there per your packet. I believe it's all pretty self-explanatory. One thing, met with facilities management, rather minimal, but hopefully assistance. The facilities protection officers here at City Hall will be they'll try and do at least 4 circuits through the breezeway on a daily basis. It's more than what we
Big
got.
progress.
Yeah, I'll take whatever assistance we can get in that regard. So hopefully that'll make some kind of difference. And again, the new security firm, Signal of North Dakota, will be starting as of February 1st. And they got rave reviews from the Billings, Montana library in terms of working with staff and what they've been able to work in terms of the environment there. So any kind of improvement is, when it comes to contract security, I've been working with that since '09, and I'll believe it when I see it, because I've seen quite a bit. So that, unless anybody has any questions about anything else, the report.
Any questions? No? Okay, we have no unfinished business, so moving on to new business. Our letter A is the Library Bill of Rights and Intellectual Freedom Statement Review. You want to
Yeah.
talk us through it?
Oh, sure. This is a document from the American Library Association, and obviously, if we remember 2023, it's a very important document in terms of libraries in the state and around the country. I think it certainly reflects the view of myself and the staff for sure. And I think it's a strong statement, and certainly we're getting, as of January 1st, going to jump right into the next session. I don't know, there's a little bit of rumblings on the horizon, but nothing specific. So I thought this would be a good time. It was kind of within the 3-year, 4-year window to get it reaffirmed by the board. So looking for action in that regard to reaffirm the board's support of this document.
And there's no like changes or anything made to
it
it
is
at all?
as presented.
Yep, okay. Does anyone have any initial questions at all in regards to the document? Okay, do we have a motion for approval?
I'll make the motion to approve.
Okay, second?
I'll second.
Okay, any discussion?
Yeah, just that I agree. It's incredibly important, and it was great to read again.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, perfect. Moving on to our statistical report. First up, we have our November usage.
You can see there in your packet, more strong attendance. Down a little bit in terms of program attendance, but we are well on our way for a record year in terms of program attendance for 2024 in the history of the Fargo Public Library. So we're excited about that. Voluntary hours way up over last year. Internet still strong, up 21% over last year. The other exciting thing is even in the month of November, with the Northport branch being closed for 2 weeks with the door and the carpet, we had a record level of circ for the month of November. As you can see it there, in 2023, that was the reigning number for November, and we surpassed it in November 2024. So year to date, just over 7% over last year. And if we do equally well in December as we did last year, we'll have the new annual record for circulation
Wow.
in 2024. So it's exciting.
Okay. Any questions in regards to usage? No? All right, moving on to financials.
Yeah, per the donation summary, on the revenue side, of the $5,574, 1,000 of that was from Concordia for the One Book, One Community. 500 of it was from a patron for the collection of books and movies in French, and the remainder being from the Friends for new book displays up at Northport, because when you have to move stuff, then you throw away the old furniture and get new, obviously. So. On the expenditure side, the $715, One Book, One Community ads. Thank you, Friends, for that. The $957, 751 of that is One Book, One Community. Thank you, Friends. $206 is also part of that for Crafternoons. Thank you, Friends, for that. And $156, you see the expenditure. 30 of that is for the Way to Go staff recognition. Thank you, Friends. And $126 for staff appreciation lunch for all the hard work that folks did up at Northport for part of the reno, moving stuff around, and de-escalation training. So thank you big time to the Friends for those monies.
Nice. All right, any questions on
I
any of
can
that so far?
go
Oh,
through the
there's
rest
still
of it.
more, sorry.
Yes, no problem. With 92% of the budget year lapsed through the end of November, just under 90% in terms of expended. Keeping an eye on that through the end, but looking good there. And revenue, you see, like I mentioned in previous meetings, we're a good $6,000 over what was estimated in terms of that, so no worries there.
All right, now any questions?
Yeah, I have a question. When you get to the end of the year, you still have more left than what you projected. Do you have like last minute plans of how you'd spend it if you have it? Okay,
Generally, the big thing is e-content.
okay,
Especially with Libby, because the hold ratios that we have to deal with, replacement of titles, and try and ease that strain. It's a balance. You don't want to get too crazy because things happen and this and that. Some furniture replacement, some technology replacement, this kind of thing. Just, we keep that in mind as we go through the year and identify it with a balance, knowing that there's got to be something, just for unforeseen, this and that. That's just the way it is. But yes, we identify needs as we get through the bulk of the fiscal year and see what's kind of on the priority this year as we go far as OSE content. So
because the budget is use it or lose it come the end of the fiscal year?
what it is, it just gets rolled back into the general fund.
Okay, but not back to the library.
No.
Okay. I didn't think so, but I wanted to clarify.
No, it isn't. And that's always been my experience in my career, and I guess in some libraries it's different. But we're a city department, so we fall under how they do it. We bought some furniture, again, e-content. We're trying to do the right thing there. Some technology and odds and ends. Our volunteer folks, they need new dollies and this kind of thing. It's like, let's just get that, get that stuff done.
Great, thank you.
Did you say next year's budget was going to be very close to this year's budget? I think that was brought up previous. Can't remember.
It wasn't expansive. I would think it's pretty, the big difference then, the thing that we really don't control is salaries and benefits. That's figured at the finance side, at the budget team side. And so in any public agency, like 60% of our budget is salaries and benefits, which is pretty typical. And those got a pretty good bounce in terms of the COLA. I think it was like 4% or something of like that nature. Something I've never seen a COLA like that. So I would say that'll be higher, but in terms of library side, books and materials, very minimal increases in regards to that.
Okay, any other
Thank you.
questions? All right, doesn't look like we have anyone here today for Friends of the Library.
Thank you, friends.
Thank you, friends. Our next meeting is January 21st in the main library, in the community room, not in here. And with that, we are adjourned.